Hey guys, Eric here. Before the episode starts, I just wanted to explain something really quick. We had massive technical difficulties while working on this. So this episode is really like a combination of multiple recordings, backup and primary, because my computer randomly crashed, Skype randomly updated at certain points. It was just a weird night, so hopefully everything sounds pretty much okay in the edited recording, but I just wanted to let you know that if there's any weird jumps and stuff like that, that's why is because it was just a mess. So we just did the best that we could. I apologize. The next episode should not be like that at all. I hope my computer behaves. So enjoy the episode. Hey guys, this is Eric Crownover from Nerdy Geek Talk, source of all your nerdy geeky needs, here with episode 44 of Steel City Bots. That's right, we're getting kind of close to 50. We'll get there before the end of the year. That's kind of neat.
Yep.
So yeah. Joining me tonight, I have Miguel. How are you doing, Miguel?
Doing pretty good.
That's good. Jared, how are you?
Thor is deciding to visit apparently, but other than that, good.
I literally just heard the same thunderstrike as you. Literally, as I was I was introducing Miguel. So yeah, I can relate.
Steel City Bots with special guest star Thor.
Chris Hemsworth, is that you?
I would love that. It'd be a little weird, but I would absolutely love Chris Hemsworth. He could be my spirit animal. But anyways,
He's an ally
Chris.
to lesbians.
Chris, are you a Hemsworth?
No, but I play one on TV.
Okay, that's close enough. So yeah, Tanner may be popping in later, but Zeus is out because he had a blast at TFCon. He's on his way home now. Speaking of which, if you're looking for TFCon news, there's going to be another episode this week, literally just dedicated to TFCon, because we already have an insane amount of regular, just official news. We already have a jam-packed episode, so we're going to do an entirely separate episode. Also this week, though, you don't have to wait till next week for it, of TFCon stuff. So look forward to that.
Indeed.
So that's where Zeus is. Soundjack has to work, sadly, and I know he's very upset because he's missing out on a lot. We have so many cool things to talk about.
And Jack.
Tanner will be popping in at some point. Yes, I accidentally called him just Jack at some point during the pre-show when we were talking. So
Yeah, Jack Darby's on the show now. Fun fact. The more you know.
I don't know why that's the first Jack you go to.
Because Transformers. Are there any other Jacks in Transformers?
Wheeljack?
Besides Wheeljack? Because that's in the name.
I think of Jack Sparrow when I think of Jack. But anyways,
Traitor.
Jack Sparrow in Transformers.
Now that would be kind of cool. That's
Chris. Since Soundjack isn't here, we'll have Chris Hemsworth. What is the history lesson?
Oh crap! Hey, that works. The first history lesson this week is July. The day we're recording this is July 16th, 2018, rather. But on this same day in 1994, hey, that's a good year. That was the first ever BotCon held at the Grand Wayne Center in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't know about you guys, but I was totally there. Totally. That was over 3 years before I was born. I was totally there and had a good time. I remember it fondly.
Miguel, were you born at that point?
No.
None of us were.
Yeah, not even my brother. He was born November 3rd of that year.
So he wasn't even born in time for this convention.
He was in the womb.
I was born during the BotCon of the year of my birth. It was I think it was like the Friday, like the first day of that BotCon was.
That's meant to be, dude. Meant to be. Just like
it was my aunt from TFU that I think figured that out, that it was during a BotCon. I don't know if it was the first day necessarily, but he said that my birthday. Or was it a week off? I don't remember. I think I want to say it was during it, but who knows? Either way.
So what mecha thing was happening when I was born?
The first BotCon, which sadly is actually of a limited number of BotCons because they don't still happen. They ended in 2016, which is, that's sad, but hey,
so many awesome things died in 2016. That was a really sucky year.
That's true.
We lost Bowie, man.
Let the past die.
Kill it if you have to. Okay, Kylo Ren. But anyways, So yeah, I thought that was certainly neat that is actually the first BotCon ever. That's kind of cool. I wish I could have been there.
Do you think it had exclusives or?
But what?
When was the first BotCon exclusive?
Was there a first bot? I don't know.
Well, there had to have been
exclusive
the first
at
one.
the first year. I don't know. Was there?
G2 Breakdown.
Oh, was that the first one ever?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
It was the what is it? When after they I guess canceled the run, they were able to get a small set of them actually packaged for BotCon.
So then that's why the year that they did the classics breakdown, they did the G2 breakdown. I knew that it was a cool thing for BotCon. I didn't realize that was why that it was the first BotCon exclusive.
BotCon G2 breakdown for basically was their sort of like their character almost in a sense, because like there's the one year where it was officially the was it OTFCC, and then they did an unofficial BotCon, and that year they did an Action Master breakdown. That's G2. And then the classics one, I think there was a Creon.
Huh. Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
The more you know.
But
I'm saying that a lot this episode.
Stuff. What cool stuff did everyone get this week? Let's start off with Jared, because yours is easy.
Yeah, I didn't get anything really all that cool. All I got was just Bumblebee and Strong Arm from the recent RID show.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Warrior class, right?
Yeah, Warrior class.
Which do you like better?
Bumblebee.
Not surprised. Strong Arm is a cool design, but a flawed toy. I'd really like another take on her at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, nothing else.
Soundjack got work because he's at work. Tanner got nothing. Surprise. I got a new hat, which if you want to know all about my hat, ask me on Twitter because
it's sad.
There's a lot behind my hat, but hey, I got a new one and I absolutely love it, even though I never wanted a new one. So
I'm sending you a hug, Eric.
Thanks. Chris, why don't you go through your stuff quick?
Okay. I got all 4 of the Itty Bitties Transformers plushes. That's Optimus, Bumblebee, Soundwave, and Megatron. Those are no, don't have time for the story. I'll tell if you want the story, ask me on Twitter. I also today we were doing some stuff with the house, and there's a Walgreens right near us, just like within like 5 or 10 minutes walking distance. So I just took a little stroll, and I was kind of hoping, hey, maybe I'd find Blot. I didn't. They had a couple of the green Titans Return tank guys. I forget his name off the top of my head. But they also had Cyber Battalion Shockwave. So the first toy I opened in the new house was my husband. So that was nice. Very fitting. I also got, at the bookstore, I got Optimus Prime comic Volume 3. The trade paperback. And that was pretty good. Good read. Recommended. Then lastly, I just got a few various model kits. If you want to ask me about those on Twitter, feel free. I'm not going to go into detail on there because they're not Transformers, but I figured I'd bring them up because they're robots. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alrighty. Miguel, why don't you go? You're the last one.
Alright. Not too much this week. I actually forgot about some of the stuff until we were recording. Walked into Walmart to return some stuff that I had bought, and stumbled upon the Wave 3 Prime Masters, so picked those up. Haven't opened them yet, so I can't really speak to them. Today, my Repro Labels order finally showed up, so that's nice. Part of that is for the custom that I'm doing of Minerva, although I reordered some of the Shapeways pieces because they broke, which was sad.
Aww.
But I should have that all done soon enough. Also, after last week's shipment and receiving his gloriousness that is Nemesis Prime from Power of the Primes, I realized that there were some issues with it. to the point that I needed a replacement, so I contacted Amazon and got that situated. So the replacement thankfully showed up and is beautiful. So I have my Nemesis number 2. And then kind of switching gears, because I normally don't talk about these, but I do pick up or at least some of the IDW comics. I've been picking up Optimus Prime since the what's this? This 5-part or
The Fall.
The Fall? Is that what it's called?
It's something along those lines.
The comics are over there, and I can't reach them. Or else I could read it. I've been picking up that. I usually would pick stuff up digitally or in trades, but for this, I wanted all the single issues, so picked up the latest one, Optimus Prime number 20.
It's The Falling. The Falling.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So I have that. I just need 21, and I'll have all of them. Cover A. I haven't gone crazy with the covers. And picked up also Unicron number 1, which is beautiful. Love it. Love the colors. Love the art. I'm really, really excited for this final series to bookend.
I'm kind of confused between Unicron 1 and Optimus Prime 20. There's a little bit of a gap.
Well, I mean, yeah, you really shouldn't be reading Unicron number 1 or even Unicron issue 0 until you've finished The Falling.
Which I read the last part. Is there still a little gap though, or am I missing?
There's one more part left of The Falling.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say. I was like,
issue 21. It will be the final issue of The Falling, and then that leads into
Unicron.
The free comic book day issue on number 0, and then I think then the Optimus Prime series will switch gears to jump back to the colonists that we last saw on Earth.
Oh, I didn't realize Optimus Prime was going to continue to run alongside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna. I think they're focusing on like Prime's crew that's still on Earth and Jazz.
Okay, that's interesting. Anything else, or is that it?
That I believe is it.
Okay, so to go through the news. First off, I have a couple things that are really just like. I'm just going to breeze through these. They're announcing. They're not the big things. They're just kind of things that I just want to mention. So first off, Power of the Primes, the Machinima series, is on YouTube now. So if you want to watch it and you didn't want to watch it on Go90 or whatever it was on, go watch it on YouTube now because it's up.
Oh, good.
Also, there is, what is it? SDCC 2018 has announced that there's going to be a Transformers trading card game exclusive. So they have exclusive cards for that, which I believe includes Slipstream. Anyone else? The only one that really caught my attention was Slipstream.
I remember hearing something about Cliff Jumper, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's Slipstream and Cliff Jumper, I believe, are the two that are actual like exclusives to that box or whatever. So if you're interested in that, there's another SDCC exclusive. Speaking of SDCC exclusives, this one's my preferred one because, man, this is freaking weird but freaking cool. It is. So we have these tiny. Are these the super deformed? No, they're not. Are they super deformed? I don't know what these are. They're either way, they are Wu-Tang Clan
What?
versions of Transformers.
What?
You should read the show notes. It'd help.
I know, I am. What?
Are you looking at them?
What?
Yeah, so basically it's inverted color Bumblebee.
It's stealth mode.
Optimus Prime looks like Grand Scourge. Megatron's just black and yellow, so yay Steelers. And then Soundwave is basically Sound Blaster, and they all have Wu-Tang Clan symbols on them.
He is Grand Scourge. Oh no.
I know. That's why when I saw it, everyone was like, "It's kind of weird, like with the black with the that color." And I was like, "What do you mean? It's Grand Scourge. It's literally like that's just what it is." They are 4.5 inches tall. They're all just the tiny little figures. I don't think they do much. How posable are these things? I don't know.
Doesn't look like they're posable at all.
Are there normal versions of these? What is it? The company's Bait?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen. I mean, there's so many different vinyl figures. I wouldn't be able to differentiate them, but I don't know that I've heard of this company before.
The newcomers.
They look like this. My little last night Optimus deformed statue thing.
Kinda.
I don't think that's the same company, but I don't know. But either way, they are $30 each or $100 for the set. They are available both at San Diego Comic-Con and also at the Wu-Tang Clan, their retail store on 920 Fifth Avenue, San Diego. So you can buy buy all of them in the set for $100 or $30 for individually. Beginning on Wednesday, July 18th, because San Diego Comic-Con is happening the very next day. Well, it's happening the entire week, but Transformers panel is until Thursday. So, yay, get excited. Wait, is that's this third? That's in, oh man, that's, wow. I kind of forgot how close that is. That's this week.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the cool SDCC reveal, a weird SDCC reveal. Some more SDCC exclusive news. We already know about these exclusives. We've talked about them, but specifically the Power of the Primes, Throne of the Primes, the Optimus Primal set, and the Bumblebee set with the Dino cassettes will be available on Hasbro Toy Shop to order on, is it August 13th? Yes, August 13th. With a limit of 2 per household. So you can only buy 2 per address you're ordering it to. And we do not know what time of day they will be launching. Miguel, do you remember what time they've launched the convention exclusive in the past? I don't think it's been a definitive time.
I think it usually ends up being like midday, like not too far, like midday to like mid-afternoon. I don't know that it's always been a hard set time. I know that for the past couple of years, I've always managed to be there, whether or not I'm going to buy it. I just like sitting and experiencing the pandemonium. Although last year, I definitely did. I picked up Primitive Prime, so last year I did partake.
See, that's why I really liked HasCon, was because I just got the SDCC exclusives there pretty easily, whereas because I waited in line, like I had to wait a long freaking time for them, but it was basically guaranteed that if I got in line early and waited for them, that I got the SDCC and the HasCon exclusives. So I'm kind of bummed there isn't a HasCon this year, because I wouldn't have to worry about Hasbro Toy Shop if I could just pick them up at HasCon. But alas, I will be among those desperately trying to get these sets on the August the 13th. So yeah.
I've seen people, like proof that people have taken off of work for this day.
Yep.
To get Primal.
I might do that as well.
Yep.
That's
I already know people who have.
That's actually kind of tempting.
That's 2 days before I actually move to Indiana again, so I should be free that day. We'll see. Next up is actually a new toy reveal. We're transitioning into movie toy stuff. And this was revealed by Nerdist. They got the reveal of this, and this looks to be, it's called Power Charge Bumblebee. It's actually the first official reveal of a Bumblebee movie toy figure. This looks to be, I want to say this is like a Voyager size. This is totally just me guessing. I want to say it's around, did we get a price on this? The article I'm reading does not have a price. I thought someone tossed around $30, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I want to say that this is like Voyager sized. The interesting things to note about the figure, other than it looks like it's actually decently articulated. It is not an actual Voyager figure. I'm just saying it looks around that size. Dude, as you say, don't get those two things mixed up. I could be totally off on the size too. But he has a flip down battle mask and a hidden blade.
Ooh.
Which I kind of want to get this toy, because I like the Bumblebee with the battle mask and hidden blade action.
Bumbleshiv.
Is he going to use a hidden blade in the movie? I don't know. That seems very surprising for Bumblebee, but
Hey, it's a real stinger.
I'll take that toy. I kind of like that, so.
It's a literal stinger.
So, I don't know. I think that's pretty interesting. It has some power core in the middle that rotates, and there's electronics and stuff. I don't know, but either way, looks kind of interesting. But it is by no means the most interesting movie toy news that we have this week.
I know.
Because our next thing, so next news item, so now this is getting on the stuff that we're actually going to discuss, is that there is, let's see, it's rumored from these listings that movie masterpiece Jazz is after 6 and 7, because 6 is Ironhide, 7 is not confirmed, but like 99% confirmed. It's Bumblebee. So people are thinking that Jazz is after that, then Starscream and Megatron. I don't remember if that's the exact order, but I know those are the 3 characters that are rumored. Also, for the movie 6 listings, which is Bumblebee movie, there are listings for both Optimus Prime and Bumblebee toys, which basically confirms Optimus Prime is going to be in the Bumblebee movie. We have further confirmation of that later. But also talking about studio series, we have a new listing for Ratchet, which could either be just another Ratchet reissued, but more likely, it seems like because of the new numbering, it is a Dark to the Moon Ratchet. So basically the same Ratchet we got, just colored green. 15 is Ironhide, which we know about. 16 is Bumblebee, which I'm curious which this could be. If this is the regular body, if this is like from that movie, if it's from the first movie, just is not the first Camaro body that we already got. Or if it's, World War II B or something. I don't know, but I'm kind of interested to see that. And then 18 is Starscream, which we were questioning, is it Revenge of the Fallen? But it almost 100% is. No, it's not almost 100% is. We also have confirmation now, because I got distracted. I was looking at the other things on the listing. We do know now that, Revenge of the Fallen Starscream, which we already knew was going to happen, but that's actually been confirmed. So that's what we're going to talk about next, is that, even though I have it out of order on the show notes, let me fix that real quick. Geez, that got weird. Sorry. Okay. Got distracted for a second. Hasbro Pulse tweeted out another leaked from Cybertron, and it is official photo, so we have official reveal of Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen version of Starscream. And I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's the Starscream we already got with the accessory switched out for a saw blade instead of the missile stabby thing. And then his deco from Revenge of the Fallen with all the tattoos, and he has a more brown overall color. How do you guys feel about this figure?
I like it more.
Like more than the first?
Yes. Like the color scheme works better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jared, how do you feel about this?
I really like it. This is probably gonna be the first figure I get that I'm literally buying just because of a different paint job.
How many Seekers do you own, Jared?
No comment.
Good amount, actually.
What were you saying about buying a character for different paint?
Oh yeah.
No comment.
Miguel, are you happy with this reveal, or do you not care? Or
for Starscream, I like the I like the 07 colors a lot better. Especially because for the Revenge of the Fallen one, they seem to have gone for more of a like toy kind of scheme rather than a.
See, the actual color of the toy is definitely the color of the toy from the movie, not necessarily the actual robot mode of the movie. Although the tattoos are, I believe, pretty accurate.
Right, but then also like Starscream all tatted up kind of became the thing. So I kind of appreciate when it's just the clean look a little bit more. So, and the buzzsaw would have been cool, but like the buzzsaw, the way the colors it's molded in really go with that one rather than the one that I have.
Yeah.
So, it's a pass for me, but it definitely, it's nice to know that, like, that they're going to put that out. I don't know what's happening.
I forgot. Was Starscream still tattooed up for Dark the Moon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I thought he was, but I wasn't totally sure, so. Huh. Yeah. So, I absolutely love, and I'm looking at the original Voyager from the Revenge of the Fallen toy line, and yes, they totally took the color from that because like the leader class, which is a little more accurate, that is a total like that's a gray, and the other figures like just if you look at it, his appearance in the movie, he's more metallic than anything, and he's more silver than brown. So they totally got that brownish color from the original toy, which I think is what surprised me because I didn't expect that. I expected movie look, and that Voyager from Revenge of the Fallen, while not a great toy, that was my Starscream that I cared about very, very deeply. So Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Starscream has a place in my heart, and I did not realize how much it actually like. I always knew that I really liked him because he was like the leader of my Decepticons, but seeing this, I was like, wow, I didn't realize just how nostalgic I am for that, which is a little weird because that's not that old. It's not super old. I mean, it's 9 years old at this point, but I really, really am excited for this more than I have been for any other repaint in a long time. So I'm actually genuinely like giddy to get this figure, which is just a little odd. I like Studio Series overall, but this might actually be one of my favorites, which is kind of weird to say, but it's true. But speaking of movie reveals, this isn't about toys, but we'll get to toys of some of these characters at least. But it's about characters for the Bumblebee movie. We have 2 characters revealed. Shatter, who is the red Plymouth that was already seen in set photos. We know what that car is now. It is a female Decepticon, Shatter. And then the other one, which is a blue Decepticon, and Shatter is a female. The blue Decepticon is...
Dropkick.
Yeah, Dropkick. Shatter is voiced by Angela Bassett. Is that how you say it? Angela Bassett. And then Dropkick is voiced by Justin Theroux. And he's a blue AMC Javelin. So, how do you guys feel about these designs?
They look awesome.
I really like that they have color. That's my main thing. Also, is it just me, or is Shatter's face kind of Nightbirdy?
Now that you
Does anyone
mention
else
it,
think that, like, if you look at like the lower jaw, almost the kind of the general shape of it, it just really reminds me of Nightbird. The blue one kind of reminds me of the Last Night Barricade, and so I was actually a little worried at first whenever we saw it. I was like, oh, is that Barricade? Like maybe he had a more Last Night look back in the '80s. But no, we figured, like, it was revealed in an article that no, that is a new Decepticon called Dropkick. Although, that's not technically a new Decepticon as, was it, Miguel, was it you that pointed that out in the chat?
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter. Some people were like, oh, look, a toy con has been elevated to movie status. Because in the '07 line, Dropkick was the, what was it? It was a pickup truck with the giant Decepticon symbol on the hood.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to get technical, Dropkick has existed before. It's just now he's been elevated. I've seen a lot of people refer to the duo as Jesse and James. Which is
oh my god! Yes, that's perfect. I hope they're just as bungling.
And Dropkick has been. He was also he appeared in some of the Transformers movie video games as a drone. So. This is the first time he's actually been a full-fledged character in a movie, so that's neat. But so, like, I love these character designs, but I have to admit, when I first saw it, I was a little worried. I was like, we got these 2 Decepticons revealed. Is that it? Are we done? Even though I also was assuming we're gonna get an Optimus Prime cameo at some point, whether it's a flashback or like him just being like in a hologram like message to Bumblebee, I don't know, or something. I knew we would see Prime. It's very, very unlikely that we wouldn't see Prime. But I was like, if this is what they're showing for the Decepticons, and in the article he talks about how he's keeping the villain plot very simply contained and not many characters, I was like, oh no. Like, is it possible we are not getting Barricade and Hot Rod are the 2 others that I was like, I want those 2 in this movie, no matter what. And my fears have since been mostly calmed after looking at some new toy leaks for the Bumblebee movie, which these are the Energon Igniters, which actually showed up in listings a while ago. The characters we have here are Prime, Bumblebee, Hot Rod, Barricade. Prime Okay, so Bumblebee is in his Bumblebee form. These are specifically for the these are called Speed class, the tiniest ones. Yeah, they're $6. They're Legion class. So there's Bumblebee in his Bumblebee movie appearance. Wouldn't it be a little weird if he was the only one for the Bumblebee movie in that wave? Well, Optimus Prime looks like Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Basically. It basically looks like regular Movieverse Prime with G1 Alt Mode, which is what Evasion Mode Optimus was. It's a little different. I mean, it's not the actual figure. I'm just saying the design overall. But then, as I mentioned, Barricade and Hot Rod are both there. These are not with them with alt modes they have previously had in universe. They are new. I don't know what the actual car is, but Barricade has a new cop car for sure. That's not the same. And Hot Rod's is 100% a new alt mode that he did not have. None of his alt modes in the last night. Not his World War II, not his Lamborghini, and not that old car either. It is none of those. So I don't know why they would give them new alt modes if they weren't like if it was just from another movie that they're just shoving in this line. But the next price point, which is the power class, there's Bumblebee, his '07 Camaro, which I'm kind of curious if that body will show up at the end in a post credits or like the end of the movie in the Bumblebee movie. But either way, there's that. There's Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, who is very certain not to show up, at least not in that body. It's very possible he could get a name drop or something, but he's not going to show up for sure in the Revenge of the Fallen body. That's just in the toy line. And then we have, is it Dropkick? That's his name, right?
Blue one? Yeah.
Yeah, the blue one. So Dropkick. And then we have another Hot Rod, again, sporting this new alt mode. And then the last, well, no, not the last, but another class up is the Power Plus class, which has Bumblebee both in his '07 Camaro, which, again, is really making me wonder if, because that's like, that and Megatron are the only ones that aren't in this movie. So I'm curious if the '07 Camaro is going to make an appearance in this movie or not, because I would assume they would do some regular B2, like his appearance in every other movie, but we don't get a single one of that. It's only the Bug and the '07 Camaro. I keep saying '07, the beat up '07 Camaro. But it's those two Bumblebees and Optimus Prime at that price point.
You mean '77 Camaro?
13. Yeah, 77. But I mean, it's in the '07 movie. That's the only movie it's in, unlike the other Camaros, which are.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Okay.
No, but you're right. The '77 Camaro. And then the last price point, which I actually kind of like, this is Nitro class, which has Barricade, Bumblebee in his Bumblebee movie form, and Optimus Prime, where it's very clear that all these are definitely Bumblebee movie designs, because that ain't no familiar Barricade for sure. I gotta say, I'm very, very. What do you guys think of this? These, or you can talk about the toys, or just the fact that this almost guarantees we are getting Hot Rod and Barricade in the movie. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy. Like, I don't
It's
know why,
kind
but
of exciting.
I always kind of liked Barricade for some reason. I have no clue why. Yeah, I kind of did have a feeling that he might have have. Wow, I always had the feeling that he was going to get like a bit of a smaller cameo, and seeing Hot Rod's always nice.
What do you mean it's always nice? It's only happened one other time.
But still,
I've got a little theory. I'm willing to bet that Shatter and Dropkick might be like deputies or minions of Barricades. Yeah, I don't know why. They just have that kind of feel about them.
That could be interesting. They're said to be trackers, so it is very possible that Barricade could be the one that sent them. I don't know, because, I mean, I just imagined that they were going to be commanded around by Starscream. Since Starscream's in this movie, I would assume Starscream's in charge, but it's very possible that Starscream's given the orders to Barricade, who is thus giving the orders to those two.
Yeah, that's what I
Who
was about to
knows?
say. Yeah.
All I know is I am super, super glad. I expected, but it was a little fearful after recent news that, like, I expected Barricade would be in the movie, but I was, having some hesitation, so I'm very glad that it's likely, and I think it's a smart move. I expected them to do it.
Prime, I like his design. Evasion Mode Prime is cool, and that's basically what we're getting again. But then Hot Rod, I gotta admit, I've been saying that I really hope he's in the movie and that I want him to. But if I had to have bet whether or not he'd make it in the movie, I was gonna bet probably not. But seeing this has really fueled my, questioning of that in terms of I think it's gone from not super likely. It was like I'd say like a 40, maybe 35% chance I thought that he would show up, to now I think it's like a 85% chance he's going to show up, because there's no way they just give him that new alt mode for no reason. So yeah, I'm excited by that. Miguel, do you have anything on these or no? I will.
I was
there
struggling
you
to unmute myself. No, they're They're certainly interesting. I'd like to see whether or not that if it does lead to the some of these characters showing up in the movie. Because like it would make it like on some level it would make sense for characters who were in the movies were kind of portrayed as being associated with Bumblebee, Barricade, Optimus naturally, and Hot Rod to show up. But at the same time, I wonder if it's just like, since they have that rough association, they're just like, all right, we'll throw them into the toy line.
It's the alt modes that gets me. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
what if they're looking for Bumblebee? It's like that's like the B plot, or no pun intended, is the other Autobots trying to find Bumblebee.
What other Autobots?
Hot Rod at least, and maybe he's reporting to Optimus, and that's where Optimus comes in. Like Optimus they lost contact with B, so Optimus is having Hot Rod look for him, and so that's how we'll get Optimus in the movie, is through communications with Hot Rod.
I don't know. If I had to guess, I think Optimus is going to be flashbacks. I don't even know if we'll see his alt mode. It's possible, since he has an Earth alt mode, it's possible he could show up on Earth. My guess is it'll be flashbacks, but I don't know. Hot Rod has always been B's brother in arms, is what they've said. So it's possibly searching for him. It's possible that he helps team up at the end.
And then the second end credit scene is having Hot Rod getting kidnapped by Anthony Hopkins.
Miguel, your Hot Rod theory, being Rodimus and time traveling back and everything, it's possible.
Oh yeah.
Say this.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows what will happen with the end of this movie at this point?
I feel like the scenario with this movie is that it was like, you know what, you can do this movie because it doesn't matter, because this universe is gonna die anyways. And he's like, oh sweet, there's no constrictions. I can just go ahead and make a good movie. And now Hasbro's like, oh no, it's a good movie. Like, maybe we shouldn't trash this universe. So they're kind of in a dilemma. I don't know. That's just kind of how it seems to me, but we'll see. Anyways, that's about it for Bumblebee movie news.
For now, for this episode.
Anyways, moving on again. This is going poorly. But anyways, we have, let's see, what's the first thing? So we have the first stuff moving on into like generations. Is we have some listings. These aren't the only listings you're going to hear of. Actually, they're not the only listings you've heard of already, because we already talked about the movie ones. So the Australian arm of Amazon added several new product pages. So there's some easy ones. There's Transformers Power Ram action figures. Don't know what that is. Probably something Cyberverse. Transformers Megatron action figure, Bumblebee action figure, Starscream action figure, Prowl action figure. All of those are very, very likely to be Cyberverse figures from what we see at the listings. Next comes, although the Power Ram action figure, we have no idea what it is, so it could or could not be. Next are some ones that are a little confusing. Transformers Rescue action figure, Transformers Battle action figure, Airstrike action figure, Spy action figure, Sports Car action figure, Race Car action figure, Off-Road Patrol action figure. So they seem pretty general, but having those names is what makes them sound like they're actually they're all the names of the classic Micromaster sets. The only one that doesn't match up is Spy, but if all the others match, I think it's a pretty safe case that it could just be something else renamed or whatever. So I'm really curious. What are the price points on these again? Say, Miguel, do you know anything about the MicroMaster sets that are rumored and stuff, or no?
Beyond the fact that we what was it? A while back there was the slowly trickling rumors that ended up with like the different waves and how many characters per how many waves we'd get for War for Cybertron and how many characters per. I haven't really heard too much. There's some speculation that these Battlemaster sets are going to take over for the Legends class, at least for that price point. So we'll probably see them at the sort of $10 price point. Whether they're a bit more substantial in size or if they're going to be just like Titan Masters, but like we get a couple of them, I'm not really sure.
I don't know, but I'm very. These are making me curious. So, while it's just listings, it is very interesting to note that while they sound super generic, they actually aren't, because they could very easily be those MicroMaster teams as mentioned in War for Cybertron, maybe something else, but it's almost guaranteed. I would say it's almost guaranteed those are for War for Cybertron, since that's the age age range they're in terms of the years of the 80s.
For the rumor list that so far has been accurate, since it did sort of leak something that we'll talk about in another news story.
Yeah.
MicroMasters was a thing for WFC, so these are definitely for the new trilogy.
I couldn't remember if these were in those leaks or not. There's been so many leaks that it's just.
Yeah, I pulled up the list just so we'd be able to talk about it.
But next reveal we have, which actually happened the day after we recorded last week, literally in the morning too. So like probably the day around the time that the episode was uploaded, we got clear images of so I guess it's the Prime Wars trilogy, but Repugnus with Dastard out of the MonsterBot mold, with a clear plastic Prima, and then Counterpunch, who is rumored, but we get to see the figure. So we get both images of Repugnus and Counterpunch, and oh my god. I gotta say, I love Repugnus, first off. I feel like we should talk about Repugnus first, because while he may be more important because he fills a hole in people's collections, I think a lot more people are excited as a toy.
Yeah.
So, talking about Repugnus first, it's a little strange in terms of the head sculpt. I'm glad he has a different head sculpt than the Titan Master, so you have options if you got the Titan Master. But I gotta say, I don't like this head. It's basically just all yellow. I think the eyes are painted a light green, but it's really hard to tell. It honestly just looks like they forgot to paint the headmaster. He comes with some knives, which I thought would form a tail, but they don't. They just go on his back. But they did get his chest pincher things. They form the chest, his pecs in robot mode, and then in his monster mode, they are his claw arms, which I think look amazing. So I'm really happy with Repugnus. How do you guys feel about Repugnus and him using the same mold? I love that all of them use the same mold, all three monster bots.
That was a good idea on their part. Same mold, but keeping it different. Yes.
I'm curious what this would have looked like as a blot retool. I'm glad it wasn't, because I'm glad that they're all headmasters, but at the same time, I just am curious how that would have gone.
Digibashers, get on
that. Jared, how do you feel about Repugnus and him, how he looks?
He looks alright. I did order him, but yeah, I do agree with you. His head definitely looks very, very plain, just yellow. Yeah, he looks alright. I don't really have all that much to say.
Do you have the other two monster bots or no?
I do not.
Do you have Twinferno or no?
No.
Oh, so you don't have any of them, so you don't care about Repugnus, do you?
Well, I do a little bit, but not as much as everybody else.
Are you gonna get him?
Yeah, I already
you already
got him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also mention, because it's technically a separate article, but
I'm just going to mention it now, is that both of these are up for pre-order. You know who isn't? The first one out of this small little trilogy of figures, Blastoff, for some reason. But that some reason is because we're all pretty sure he's going to go up during SDCC. We don't know it, but we think it.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel, did I ask you how you feel about Repugnus? Sorry.
Not yet, but I guess I'll go now.
I was going to say, how do you feel about Repugnus?
No, I'm happy. I'm happy that they decided to complete the trio at full size.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I like is how this Repugnus has a toy accurate face on the Titan Master, while the previously released one that was in the individual pack and came with Takara's broadside.
Yeah,
that one was more animation accurate with the larger eyes. So you have options for.
I just wish they would have painted this other option. I like the head sculpt. I just wish there was. I know that it's more accurate this way, but I just wish there was a little bit more paint on it.
I mean, where specifically? Because this is it's accurate to the toy.
No, I know. I'm saying that that it's accurate to the toy in terms of the sculpt and in the coloration. But I'm just saying, a little bit of detailing would have gone a long way. Because it's still a toy accurate face in terms of the eyes and stuff being different. But I don't know.
Where you take your solo release and you slap it on, and then you chuck this one in the garbage.
I think I'll probably keep him. I might use this Headmaster for something else, but I think I might use the solo release. Although this is the Titan Master that's, assuming it uses the same mold, it'll be the Battle Beast Titan Master. So I could turn him into someone else. But yeah, I gotta say, I really do like Repugnus, but...
What is Amazon doing?
What?
This is jumping ahead somewhat, but, if you'll let me...
Oh yeah, you're good.
Alright, so, in this slew of sort of Amazon reveals, today, in fact, we had the reveal of a Prime Wars Trilogy shirt that includes the box art for not only that includes the combined box art for Repugnus, Punch, Counterpunch, and Blastoff.
Yeah.
Apparently, Amazon's since updated, and now you can get not only the combined box art with all three of them, but each of their individual box art on a shirt.
That's cool.
That's so weird.
I want those shirts.
I kind of want a Punch Counterpunch shirt.
I want shirts. I kind of want all of them. I really like So, I'm confused. Is it just the one with Repugnus? Do they have a separate Repugnus shirt? Because I know.
Yeah, so they have one where it's because what is it on the boxes? There's the front art, which just has the individual figure, and then there's the side, which is each one comes with a third of a completed image.
Yeah.
So you have 4 shirt options. Each of their individual box art or the combined image.
Well, you can get it in black or white.
shirts?
They're $20.
Oh.
You can get them in black and white, or black or white. I like that.
Guys, text me the link. I'm gonna text that to someone.
That's so strange.
Huh.
I get that combined box art shirt.
I was gonna say I like the combined box art shirt. It has all of them on it. It's cool.
The Blastoff one is especially it's just funny because it's just a spaceship on a shirt.
Can't even tell what it
dumb.
is. All I've found so far for the T-shirts is the listing of just the combined one. Like I haven't seen pictures of the other one.
I'll send a link
Gotcha.
to the one with all 3 of them. It's funny.
But yeah, so then mentioning Counterpunch, we have their reveal as well. I say they as if there's 2 different people, which they kind of are, kind of aren't. Are they? I don't know. But which one's the real? Has it ever been actually said which is the real one?
I think it depends on the depiction. Like in the original G1 cartoon, I think Punch is the original character, and then Counterpunch is his alter ego. Same with the Japanese cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Some more the Club Fiction, so the Collectors Club exclusive, actually both of the exclusives the bios kind of entertain the idea that as he
But yeah, he didn't know which he was because I
he
have
as he well,
I have
it's like
Counterpunch.
the first release, which was the Universe Sideswipe
Yeah.
retool. That one kind of goes into how he's been a double agent for so long that when he switches between personalities, like when he goes to Counterpunch mode, he kind of shuts down, and then when he's back into Punch mode, he doesn't remember what he did as Counterpunch.
Mm-hmm.
So sort of an evolution of his Counterpunch persona has sort of developed its own life, and then the Masters of Mayhem.
Yeah, the Counterpunch figure actually, like the fiction for that was just that they actually became so separated, like how you mentioned that he got caught in the middle of the two sides. They both like turned on him because they both realized what he was doing, and then his punch mode was damaged so heavily that doctors removed it, and so Counterpunch was just his own person then.
And in the pro story that they put out, there was a heavy suggestion that Counterpunch, at least in that universe, was the actual original persona, and Punch was the fake.
Was it? I couldn't remember because I remember reading those stories and I couldn't remember which one they implied was fake. They implied one of them was fake. Oh no, you're right. They implied it was Counterpunch because the whole reason Punch signed up in the Autobot army was that a city was destroyed. But then throughout the story, they hint multiple times that there was literally no actual evidence that city was destroyed or existed or anything like.
Yeah, the way they put it in the pro story was that every time that the city was mentioned, people always like, oh, I've heard of it, but they've never been to it.
Yeah. So it's just interesting but anyways, the toy itself is very impressive. Totally different robot modes. The only thing I'm worried about, so I gotta say, I'm so impressed they have separate hands. I love Counterpunch in general. So this, especially the Counterpunch robot mode, totally does it for me. I love that he has a totally separate Punch robot mode. Only thing I'm worried about is the head sculpt. I hope that it somehow covers up the other face and it's not just two faces sculpted on one side of each other.
In the photos that are on Amazon, funny enough, you see that the hat does flip down because both robot modes, it's flipped down the wrong way. You can't see his eyes in either robot mode.
Oh, nice.
There's no women's sizes available for these shirts. That really peeves me off.
They don't have what?
There's no women's sizes available. It's only men's.
Not the one I have. It clearly says women and youth.
When you actually select from the drop-down?
Bit tight. Oh. Okay, I was doing it wrong. Okay. Listen, I've never used Amazon before today, alright?
Which is crazy.
You guys should be careful. I've heard my Autobot counterpart is lurking around here.
Oh crap, it's Tanner!
Hey Tanner, glad you stopped by. You missed so many technical difficulties while you were gone.
Yeah,
I gotta say naughty words.
Crazy.
It was great.
Because she's stupid. Anyways.
Yes, thank you.
How do you guys feel about Punch Counterpunch? Also, what do you think it is? Because it technically represents Power of the Primes in this trilogy, because Blastoff is clearly Combiner Wars, and that's even stated. It's not just implied. It represents Combiner Wars. Repugnus represents Titans Return. This represents Power of the Primes. Do you think this reuses a couple parts from Jazz? Do you think it's a pre-tool for War for Cybertron? What do you think? Is it just a brand new mold? They just wanted to get it made, or what? My theory... I'll go first. So my theory is that maybe it uses a couple parts like Fist or something from Jazz. I don't know. But my guess is that it is a new mold, basically, that is a pre-tool for War for Cybertron. What they use it for, there's a couple guesses. But that the reason they're including it in Power of the Primes is because there's been several instances where they've just said, yeah, those two people are duocons, regardless of how they combine. If there are two robots, they count as a duocon. First instance being Dreadwing is a duocon made of Dreadwind and Blackwing, they are literally just two planes that you just plug into each other to make a big plane, and they're like, yeah, it's a duocon. Then there's the actual duocon. Well, although it's different now. We had Overlord recently, but that's Titans Return. But
who they said was also a Duocon. We had Dragonstorm in the movies, but then Battle Trap, made of Battle Slash and Road Trap, they said is a Duocon. So the way they could say it fits into the gimmick of Power of the Primes is it's a Duocon. And that's what I think they'll do in terms of saying it's 2 robot modes that, like, it has 2 robot modes, and it's just, you know, one body, but it's a Duocon. So that's my guess, but...
Wait, does that mean then, like, everybody in Energon was a Duocon?
By
least
their
on the
new
Autobots.
standards, yes.
That's freaky.
Yeah.
But it's possible they could retool this to be Point Blank. It's possible they could retool it to be a Deadlock/Drift, which I really, really hope they do, because I want
Yeah.
that. I want that figure in my life. I want a Deadlock Drift.
I want a
one.
drift that's not movie drift.
Well, you have plenty of third-party options, or the old Classics one, which is an amazing mold. Or no, that's not Classics. That is Generations, but
Help me find it.
you should definitely get that. But
Just get the sword upgrade.
I would really, really like that version, just specifically a combo of Deadlock and Drift, because I'm a big Deadlock fan. So, yeah. Miguel, do you have any guesses as to what the heck Counterpunch is, or no?
My first guess when he first showed up was that he was probably a pre-tool of Point Blank, and then based off of some more information that we have about some stuff, I'm pretty sure now that he's a pre-tool of Point Blank. I will be sad if he's not, and we don't end up getting a Point Blank at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because, so we'll just say this now. The biggest news item is that War for Cybertron got actually revealed, parts of it. And there's Target Masters. We got Decepticon Target Masters. We didn't get Autobot Target Masters, and the Counterpunch robot mode sure looks like it could be a Point Blank, and we're getting Target Masters in this line. So I'm with you. I don't know if they would do both, a Point Blank and then also a Drift Deadlock, or if it's just Point Blank. I don't know, but I will be disappointed if we do not get Point Blank at the end of this line. We have a mold that works and Target Masters. I'm with you. I'll be very upset if it doesn't happen.
I already have the Target Master guns. I just need the bots.
Well, if we're making everyone Target Masters again, can we get like
We're not there yet. We're not on the actual Target Masters yet. We're just talking about Counterpunch. So you save the Target Master talk unless you're going to specifically talk about Point Blank, because we still have so much to get to.
Okay, I really like Point Blank. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the Point Break remake.
Well, that's not the toy we're talking about.
It didn't have Gary Busey, okay? Now, if
All right,
they make
anyways,
Gary
we're
Busey into a Target Master, that...
Man, I missed you for a solid 5 minutes. And that was it. Anyways, Chris, Jared,
all right.
how do you feel about Punch Counter?
I like Punch Counterpunch. I really like the look of this figure, and I overall just like the idea of having one vehicle mode, and it's got a opposite triple changer.
Huh. I never thought about it that way. It is a triple changer, just not the usual way.
Oh snap!
I never thought about it that. Yeah, that is interesting. I literally never thought about it from that point of view, that it is literally just a reverse triple changer. Huh.
Neat.
I did it good.
Look at you go.
Yeah.
Chris,
Rock on, bad self.
how do you feel about the dude?
I like.
It's a neat
want-
toy. Has anyone
want-
pre-ordered this yet? Miguel, I'm
Me.
sure you have.
What?
Have you pre-ordered Counterpunch?
I have 2 on pre-order.
Of course. And then Jared already does. I have it on. I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
say I have it on my wish list, but I have not actually. I haven't pre-ordered it myself yet. I'm probably gonna take it off my wish list and pre-order it myself, just so I can. I just was putting that together earlier today and just put every single thing I saw on there. So. Yeah. Let's move on to. So, oh yeah, as mentioned, there's T-shirts for all their artwork too. We already mentioned that. So,
That's
Yeah.
relatively newer news, but next, as mentioned, the War for Cybertron. I was correct on my guess. It's Siege. That's the name of the first leg of the trilogy. It's War for Cybertron Siege. And we got our first look at the three figures. Fire Dive, Sideswipe, and Optimus. Fire Dive is... Do we have a name for his price point? What's
For
it?
whose? Fire Drives?
Yeah. Oh, he's a Battle Master. That's
He's
what
the
it's called.
Battle Master.
Battle Master. I couldn't-
$5.99 MSRP?
Yeah, so basically taking over the Prime Master, Titan Master price point. He is a Target Master, and
Yay.
yeah, he's cool. He comes with blast effects, which is neat. I don't know if there's much else to say other than I hope he turns into a jetpack for Sideswipe. I hope that's capable, because it kind of looks like he could be a good jetpack for Sideswipe.
Well, the other thing is that, nicely enough, Hasbro seems to have, at the very least, kept with the same aesthetic that the Takara Target Masters had. So the arms and legs look very similar, although Fire Drive doesn't have knees. At least in the CAD render that we have available, he does not have... It doesn't seem like he has ball-jointed knees like the Takara ones do. Otherwise, he looks a lot better than the one that came with Legends Hot Rod. I hope that some of the old Titans Return characters get their Target Master partners. Not everyone, because there's only so many slots. But make Fracas. Make Fracas, you cowards.
I honestly hope we get who was Cyclonus's Nightstick, right?
Nightstick would be perfect because they could only cast it in the Nightstick colors and release it 3 times for Cyclonus, then with an exclusive Ricochet and Artfire, because all 3 of them came with Nightstick.
And we have an Inferno, just in Power of the Primes, that they could do as an Artfire if they wanted. I mean,
I'd prefer a different Artfire if they're going to go that route, but, I mean, at the very least, it's not like they don't have an Inferno they could do it off of. They could do
Or a Jazz.
I'd prefer a different Inferno.
So, no, we're not talking about that Inferno.
Oh, wait, you know what would be cool?
What?
No, okay.
Okay, no, wait. You can speculate. Just wait till we get to the listing. Let's talk about all the other stuff.
Wait. You know how we had Legends Starscream a while back for throwing 30, and he came with a Target Master Waspinator?
No, we want actual Target Masters.
A new Waspinator with a smaller Waspinator as Target Master.
If we got an actual Waspinator, I'd be okay with that. But we're not going to get a
No,
Beast
but
Wars
with
character.
a smaller Waspinator. So he's carrying a smaller version of himself
It's
as a
not going
gun.
to happen.
Don't talk to
That's
me or my son
hilarious.
ever again.
So you could already do that if you have those 2 figures.
Yeah.
But next we have Deluxe
Excuse me, I
Class.
have to do something.
Oh, he's gonna go do that. Nice. Next we have Deluxe Class Sideswipe, who is my favorite out of these 3 figures. He is at the $20 price point now, which is kind of sad. But he does come with 2 weapons, which we only see combined. I'm really hoping that, like, we see them as a combined blaster, but it said they're 2 different things. I'm hoping that one is a shoulder cannon, one is an actual just regular gun. We'll see if that's the case or not. I'm hoping. His alt mode is not very Cybertronian-y. It kind of just looks a little bit like a slightly futuristic, slicker version of his normal alt mode. But I really, really like him, so I'm hoping we get G2. How do you guys feel about Sideswipe in particular?
That's the combined one?
Yeah, that's the combined weapon. I know, they've got to be tiny. I'm almost certain that's the combined one.
Gosh, because when I first saw this, I thought that was just his shoulder cannon he was holding, and then that the gun was like he wasn't holding his actual blaster.
I don't know that, but when just seeing the red, I'm guessing there's a handle on the side, and they're 2 separate things. I don't know that though, but we'll see. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is that he does have the little bit of battle damage around his crotch. It's like it's like his waist, and then his shins and his feet. He has some. He got a little dirty. It's not too noticeable on him, but it's okay. I like it.
Eric, that sounded so naughty.
I like how both
No, it
both
didn't.
with
Battle damage crotch? Yeah, that's kind of naughty.
Just leave. Miguel, what were you gonna say?
Yeah. I like with all three. Not to jump too ahead, all three of the reveals. It seems that they're borrowing heavily from the CAD files from different toys because, well, Fire Drive, like I said, the arms and legs are very similar to how the Takara Legends Target Masters looked. And then Sideswipe's face and or his head and basically from the waist down, it's the Masterpiece toy.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
So it's one of those things where it's nice that some of they're getting some really good sculpting into the figures. I'm a little disappointed both with Sideswipe and then the next reveal that they didn't really commit to the whole more than meets the eye part 1 / Wardon aesthetic for the vehicle modes.
Yeah.
It would be really interesting if should Wheeljack come out, if Wheeljack and like a Bumblebee are the literal only two characters, and some Tetrajets are the only ones that actually have that look. Because for the two vehicles we see, they look like normal generations vehicles.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as he mentioned, the third one we have is Voyager Optimus, which I gotta say, I like in robot mode. It's very just G1 Prime. It almost looks like the Power of the Prime's leader class at a Voyager size. It's the same general aesthetic. I like his axe. He's an axe now, and which can also be turned into an arm shield stuff. But the vehicle mode is literally just a Generations Optimus Prime with, like...
Side cannons and eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's how I described it.
That's pretty metal.
They don't even look that canon-y. I mean, like, it's a detail, but in terms of sticking out... Eh.
He has truck eyebrows. He's just the
Oh,
G1
no, yeah,
mode
the
with
eyebrows
extra,
do for
with extra
sure.
bits.
Yeah. Miguel, what are
it's
you
just
gonna say?
ridiculous.
What are you gonna say?
Well, no,
about
just
Drive?
that the Prime's vehicle, like it's so sad because Prime's vehicle mode's just it's his Earth mode with like extra bits that also kind of look like Cybertron Optimus Prime's cannons for some reason.
Yup.
I do like the head sculpt. It's kind of a G2 comic Optimus Prime.
That's kind of the vibe I got. It kind of looks like like his eyebrows look a little angrier, so it kind of looks G2-y.
Which for the kind of vibe they're going for with this line, I do like. And then one thing is that people have kind of picked apart the box art that was also shown. You see Ironhide, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Hound.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of think it's Hound, although it's honestly the Hound is the one that's
Spotty enough that it could maybe not be Hound, but it's probably
Based
Hound.
off of another thing we're probably going to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it's Hound.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. You're right. But I'm curious what what the gimmick will be for this line. I mean there are Target Masters, there's that and such, but
from the ad copy in the press release, it's the weapons. The weapons are the gimmick.
Okay. Because
Like
the axe turns into a shield. The guns of Sideswipe can combine and stuff.
So can Prime's ion cannon and his axe can combine apparently.
Oh.
Really?
And the blast effects from the Target Masters can go on, like, I see one on Prime Shield and stuff, so you can add them in other places, so... Kind of curious if there's anything else or not. We'll see. In terms of, like, especially I want to see what how the Micromasters interact, so... But yeah.
They're all also secret duocons. It's Energon. It's secretly Energon.
Be crazy.
I'm afraid we're not at that level yet.
But last but certainly not least, because this is the longest news item we have, is another list of leaks from Amazon for War for Cybertron and probably more. There's probably a little bit of Cyberverse and a little bit of Studio Series mixed in here. So, I'm just gonna read these off in terms of the price points. On T-Formers, Chris XV from Radio Free Cybertron did a really good breakdown on. That's very helpful in terms of figuring out what the heck all these things are. So let's dive into it. At the price points, we have under $10. We have Transformers Rockhounds action figure and Transformers Aces action figure. Which I don't. Does anyone know what those are?
I think for the ones that aren't characters, there's pretty much no way to figure out what these are. Like these are similar to like the Toilet Troop listings?
Yeah. Which is just weird. So those are probably code names. We don't know what they are, but they're cheaper. They could be the Target Masters, in all honesty. If I had to take a guess, that might be my guess, is that since they're under $10, that's the price point they would line up with, or some other Lines Legion class figures. I don't know, but either way, we have those. If you look at everything else seems to be around $20. That's the bulk of things. So you could divide it up between stuff that's Generation Studio Series, and then who knows about the other stuff. So some of the interesting ones for deluxes, there is a COG and a 6-gun deluxe. I don't think those are code names. Miguel, how do you feel about these? I was going to say, Miguel, you've got to be really excited.
The fact that like these listings really haven't, I don't think, have gone the rounds, because at the same time that they announced this, at TFCon, they I forget which company. I think it's SND. SND is doing a COG, I think, that has a headmaster and everything. But the fact that then for like the fact that at retail where it's like, we forgot the dudes that go with Metroplex and Fort Max, so here.
I'm really curious how these turn out. I'm very excited. I'm happy that we are getting these. I feel like these could be easily, like, these will fit into Cybertronian stuff because they're weird.
Yeah.
But I find it crazy that there's that. Also, Ironhide is listed, which we already see in the art, so not clearly at all, but it's definitely Generations because we're already getting a Studio Series Voyager Ironhide, so it'd be very weird to be getting a deluxe one. And then there's also he has the same numbering sequence as COG. Also, it seems like there is a Hound in that too, which would go along with the art and stuff. So it seems like we're getting Hound, Prowl, and Sideswipe, which it's possible that these are different things, but the Sideswipe in these listings has a different number than the ones revealed in Game Informer. It may be a mess up, it may be a redeco, or it could be maybe Cyberverse, I don't know. My guess is that it's a repaint, maybe it's a G2 Sideswipe, I don't know. So then again, there's Prowl. Who else? Okay, so then we get on to the ones that we're not sure about. Crankcase. This could easily be Studio Series it says a retool of Crowbar, but really Crankcase is just Berserker repainted, right? Crankcase is... I'm confused. Who's Crankcase? He is the other Dread, right?
Yeah. No, the original three were Crankcase, Crowbar, and then Hatchet.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying that
and then Berserker.
No, I know. I'm saying Berserker is Crankcase in terms
basically,
of the body.
He's that one.
This could easily just be instead of just letting us keep Berserker as a Crankcase, they're gonna do Crankcase just repainted out of that, painted correctly. I'm assuming. I don't even think they'd change them. They might remold it a little bit, but in all honesty, you could probably just keep it the same because Berserker just.
Did you get the Nightbot?
Yeah.
See, but then what we need a Voyager scale Hatchet who turns into the SUV, but at the same size.
No, wait. Triple Changer Hatchet jet SUV
No,
dog.
don't need the jet. Although they've already made it clear that they are doing toy homages with Starscream for Revenge of the Fallen Starscream. They're homaging the toy color, not his screen accuracy. So
We'll see. Hatchet
Who knows?
Hatchet for his size was a very cool figure. Because he even came with 2 little drones that turned into guns.
Okay, I'll give you triple
He
changing.
was more like Ravage than the actual Ravage we got.
I'll give you triple changing Hatchet, but the problem, but the caveat is that if you turn him into the jet mode, he becomes the size of a Cyberverse figure. So like if you switch him back to the animal robot mode thing, he's tiny. He's just permanently tiny.
Yes, that is. If Soundwave can go from a giant robot to a portable Walkman that can be held by a regular
that's a
human,
very different Transformers universe. Doesn't count. But
okay.
yeah.
Well, how can a giant satellite turn into a Mercedes then? Explain that one.
How do you know
Magic.
how do you know he was a giant satellite? He was in space. What frame of reference do you have?
The other satellite he groped.
Yeah.
But how do you
That's
know how
the
big that satellite was?
The Earth.
Exactly.
To be fair,
I
look
rem-
up how big those regular types of satellites are. You'll be able to judge.
But
I'm
that
not saying-
satellite wasn't real, so you don't see
Well-
them on Earth until Dark of the Moon. So
Neither is Soundwave.
no, I know,
Yeah.
but I mean
No,
I
no,
know
no,
Soundwave
wait,
isn't
no, no,
real.
Wait. Here's how you can use size. Okay, how big is Ravage?
He's about the size of an actual like what cat is he modeled off of? Is it a panther?
Okay, yes. So
Oh, I cut
okay,
out for a second. Wait,
take the size of the Panther and make it bigger for Soundwave, and that's your size.
wait, I'm so confused. But you still don't even see Ravage compared to
What's
him. He just
the-
shoots
Oh,
out.
oh.
What? Can you give me the measurements of bigger?
Um,
What do you?
just just estimate.
That doesn't.
and-
That's literally that's the dumbest idea in terms of how are we gonna measure it? We'll guess.
Listen,
What was
you're
the point of
analyzing a
measuring if you're
Michael Bay
guessing it?
movie? Okay, we've gone past logic.
We've gone to plaid.
No, you tried to act like Soundwave in the movies has the same size problem that G1 Soundwave does, which is not
Which
even
would make
close.
sense.
No,
Okay,
no.
well, how does a big satellite turn into a Mercedes?
We've been over this. We don't know that was a big satellite. Why do you think the
Well,
satellite was so
it a,
big?
Was
Alright,
it a
someone
weather
look up-
satellite? Was it a
Someone
surveillance
look up what the
satellite?
smallest satellite is.
Anyways, we're getting distracted.
Serious question: is it a weather satellite or a surveillance satellite?
no,
or what was it?
How would we know?
Okay, fine.
I
This
get my weather from Soundwave.
Surveillance.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
if I had to,
googling
if,
average satellite size.
it's surveillance though
This is-
because it's Soundwave. So
This is homework for Chris and Tanner.
Yes.
We will do a supplemental episode where you report
No,
on
no,
like,
we're doing it.
no,
we're-
I'm
you're not
Googling
doing it
doing
now.
it live.
No,
We're
you're not
finding out
doing it
live.
now. I'll kick you from the call if you decide you're doing it now, because we're moving on. So there's Crankcase, who could easily be a G1 TriggerCon too, because that could easily be something that this generation's team pulls, which I think would be interesting. I'd probably prefer that because, in all honesty, I'm fine with Berserker being Crankcase because he's close enough. But if they do an actual Crankcase, I won't complain as long as we get a frickin' hatchet. If we don't get a hatchet by the end of this line, I'm going to be so angry. But, anyways, Crankcase is joined by Drift, which again is one we have no idea if this is Studio Series or Generations. I'm hoping this is a War for Cybertron reuse of the Punch Counterpunch mold and its Drift Deadlock, but it could easily be a Studio Series Drift. My question is, if it's Studio Series Drift, does that mean it's going to be a triple changing deluxe? Because if Studio Series is more accurate, we didn't
I
get
typed in average and the letter S,
No.
and the first thing that came up was average satellite size.
Just look up.
Really?
Just go to the group chat. I sent something there.
That's weird. That's odd that that's the first result. But anyways, the Drift, I'm kind of curious if they do a Drift, will it be a triple changer? Or would it wouldn't be the Last Night Drift because we just got that. So I'm really thinking it's Generations, but It could go either way. Then there's...
What? What is this size chart?
Is it a size chart for satellites?
But it's comparing to different things, and what it's comparing is like watermelon, a hippo, a pickup truck, a grand piano.
It's comparing them by weight. It's the best thing I could find. Deal with it.
But look, the pickup truck is about the size of the biggest satellite on there. Therefore, Soundwave size makes sense.
Yes.
Relatively. So
Or-
Tanner, you're wrong. Or a hippo.
No, I want the satellite size to be the size of the watermelon. Go the opposite way.
So he's just like, whoa, and we're like,
Can we please get a Soundwave-sized watermelon?
I want a
Yes.
hippo Soundwave now, though, because there's a hippo on the
oh
chart.
my god, you've given me an idea next time we go to a mall that has a Build-A-Bear.
All right, but anyways, there's Hightower is a confusing one because Hightower is in.
Why would
RID
they choose that
2001.
Constructicon?
Well, no. Here's the thing: it's multiple different characters. We have no idea which it is. RID 2001. He is part of the landfill combiner. Then after that, it's a Decepticon name used in classics where he's one of the Energon Constructicon redecos that made up Devastator, or in Revenge of the Fallen, he is also a Constructicon. I find it a little hard to believe that Studio Series would already be moving on to the Constructicons and doing them individually, and then we get a Devastator. It's possible. I just find it unlikely that this is how they're going to do it. So I don't know. It's very possible that this could just be a rename of something else that they just don't have a trademark for. Who knows? There's also Hightower, which is a character. It's saying that it could refer to the Bumblebee movie or something new. We have no idea. So basically, who knows? Hightower is just in the same assortment as Drift, which makes me think Drift will be a War for Cybertron figure, not a movie thing, because we don't have a very clear, definitive Hightower in the movies. So why would there be a Hightower in Studio Series? Unless that's a fake name, but I don't think it is.
Why would it be?
I mean, it could be a
Yeah.
code name, is what I'm saying. Because some of these other things have code names, so there's that. So that could easily be a code name. I would guess it's not, but it could be. Looking at other Studio Series Deluxes we have, there is Dino and Barricade. Those are obviously going to be Studio Series. Dino is... This will be the first new mold for Dino, so that's awesome. And then Barricade... probably not the last Night Barricade. It's probably going to be his appearance in the first or third movie. Or, a lot of people are forgetting, it could easily be the Bumblebee movie version of him, too. Now, that might be saved. So this could be like a regular version of Barricade, and then the Barricade from the Bumblebee movie is placed in the Bumblebee movie wave. We don't know. In this article, it specifically says that Barricade will have a Battle of Chicago backdrop is the most likely. I have to disagree. I would think he would have the same backdrop that the 77 Camaro Bumblebee has, because I think that's his most iconic fight. He did nothing in Dark of the Moon other than die.
And I was shot out.
Yeah, I was going to say, he got his eyes shot out, and, well, he didn't, okay, I say die. He didn't die. He got his eyes shot out. He somehow survived.
And his leg blown up.
Yeah, so, was it him that got his leg blown up? I thought it was a different Decepticon.
It might have been a different Decepticon. There was
Either
a
way,
lot
he
of,
got ambushed.
blown up
I don't know
things.
how he didn't die, but
Yeah.
either way, he didn't. So I think he'll have a backdrop for his fight with Bumblebee, but who knows? We'll see. The other deluxes, there are Nitro Blue LT1. Don't know what that is. It's a code name, just like Red Lightning, Wood Ducks, and Green Jackets. My guess for Green Jackets is that could be a Studio Series Crosshairs. That's just my guess, but I feel like that. I feel like that's a reasonable guess if you look at that. Like if that's a code name, that would definitely suit Crosshairs. So,
Yeah.
who knows? Red
Who's
Lightning,
Wood Ducks, though?
It
I
could
want.
also be Hound.
but it's Hound's already got a listing, and this is for deluxes. They wouldn't do a deluxe Hound in Studio Series. So, well, although we don't know this is Studio Series, but we already have a listing for Hound.
You know who it is? They're going to do a new version of Air Raid from Deluxe, the Deluxe Air Raid from Dark of the Moon.
Nah, but I'm with you, Miguel. Who the heck is Wood Ducks? Like Red Lightning, Nitro Blue, and then, Green Jacket's still a little weird, but Wood Ducks. They are wooden ducks. I don't know. Who is that?
Studio series Howard the Duck.
Scalpel?
Or actually,
No.
you know who I'd like to see in the studio series? I'd like to see some new Wreckers.
Oh yeah.
I bet that'll happen at some point.
And I really want Green Jackets to be Roadbuster.
Actually,
Could it be
that
Laserbeak?
is
Laserbeak's a bird.
There's no way it's Laserbeak. Laserbeak would not get his own deluxe figure if they're doing
True.
scale.
True.
Although that's actually a very valid point. Green Jackets could also be, which wrecker is that?
Roadbuster.
Yeah, Roadbuster. I was gonna say I just blanked on it. That could.
Watch it. It'll be Skids.
Oh God, no.
All right, moving on. So Voyager's at the $30 level, which we could start with what is probably Generations. Optimus Prime revealed. Megatron it's very likely that's Generations and Starscream, who are in an assortment of their own. That's why we think it's them, because Starscream we already know about all the Studio Series Starscreams. Followed by a Thundercracker and then a Springer in another wave. So it looks like we will be getting another Generation Springer. I'm very curious to see how that turns out.
Damn.
Sorry, but you're not topping the last one.
Apparently, there's another case that E3542 we're hoping is missing. Otherwise, it's just a solid case of Optimus Prime in the first wave. So, maybe we're hoping that there's someone else with Optimus Prime in the first wave. We don't know. But there's also a Bumblebee at the same price point. We have no idea if this is a Voyager and Generations or Studio Series, a Cyberverse thing. It could be that Bumblebee movie toy that we've seen that I thought was Voyager level. But either way, there's a Bumblebee at a $30 price point. We have no idea what line that is. Starscream and Megatron's numbering is very close to Optimus, so that's why we think it is specifically in War for Cybertron, not the other stuff. So we'll see. So now moving on to the $50 level. This is where things get a little interesting. There's two Optimus Primes. One is way up the numbering scale, one's way down the numbering sequence, so we don't know. But there's Optimus and Ultra Magnus are one removed from each other, so probably wave mates, which indicates a War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, because there's no movie Ultra Magnus, unless this is one of those concept art things they're doing, which I don't even know if there is concept art for Ultra Magnus in the movie. It's like actual concept art officially. That this is very likely means we're getting a leader class Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus in War for Cybertron, which I gotta say, I'm very, very excited for a leader class Ultra Magnus, because I love the last one and it was very IDW. Yeah. So this could be a Generations one that's very G1, which in general I'm like, we can move away from that. But Ultra Magnus, I'll take that. Then we also have Megatron, Jetfire, and a Shockwave at the leader class price points.
Oh my God, leader Shockwave?
My guess.
About time.
I'm guessing that Shockwave is Studio Series. I think my guess is that Shockwave, Jetfire are Studio Series. Megatron, I don't know. Because the thing is, we have a Megatron Voyager that's very likely in War for Cybertron, but then we also already have a Voyager Megatron in Studio Series. But at the same time, if we have a Leader Optimus in both lines, and a Leader Optimus in both lines, and Voyager Optimus in both lines, that could leave a Megatron in either. If I had to guess, I'd wager all three of these, Megatron, Jetfire, and Shockwave. My guess is that all three of these are Studio Series, but we don't
Megatron?
know. I would guess the first movie, just to give room for the Jet. I don't know. I mean, in all fairness, Blackout is a relatively similar size to the Voyager Decepticons. He's just more mass for his alt mode, so that could be the same thing with movie 1 Megatron. I don't know. What ideas do you guys have in terms of Megatron, Jetfire, and Shockwave? Do you think that they're Generations movie? And if so, with the movie with Megatron, how do you think that's, which version? I'm curious.
If it's movie 1, I'm sure it will have the Sector 7, frozen background, you know? the
Mhm.
chamber where he was frozen.
So you're
That would just-
thinking? So are you thinking that it's a Studio Series movie 1 Megatron? Is that your guess?
If it is, that's just what. That's just. I just wanted to say that.
Mhm.
If that's what is that.
I'd agree.
that would be-
Or Battle for Mission City, but it's
That-
it's probably the chamber, him being frozen. I would have to agree.
That would be really cool too.
Mhm.
They could recreate that. That'd be awesome.
My question is, so, the only thing I'm confused is if there's 2 leader Optimus Primes, one of them's got to be Studio Series, right? Like just in my head, that has to be it. Do you guys
Maybe
think it's leader? Do you think it's like Optimus Prime like armored up in Dark of the Moon, like how he has the jet wing? Like, do you think that's Jetwing Optimus Prime?
That's what I was about to say.
Or do you think it's an Optimus Prime that can combine with Jetfire? Like, because there's
Oh.
also, because it seems like we're getting leader Jetfire. I don't know. That's what I'm like. I don't know. I think that Shockwave, it's possible it's a Generations leader class Shockwave, especially since he was in the running to get a leader class toy. But my speculation is I think that's Studio Series. And I sure hope it is, because I think that could be one of the most amazing things ever.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel, how do you feel about these leader class stuff, these leader class listings? I'm curious.
I just want a Shockwave in Generations that's a good size.
I'm with you, but I don't think this is it. It could
it's
be.
not.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Studio Series. That's what's gonna happen.
Like, I hope that happens, because honestly, a Cyber Battalion Shockwave, if it had knees, it could be that. It could be a Generation Shockwave, but
No, we want a leader Shockwave, man, to go with leader Megatron and Soundwave.
Yeah.
now if I had
no.
it my way, I feel like I would want Megatron to be Dark of the Moon Megatron, but Dark of the Moon Megatron isn't bigger than Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, is he?
I would think they're about the same size, or
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
a little bit smaller.
Although
Yeah,
he has so now that I'm thinking about it, if they're about the same size, but he has a more detailed transformation because he has to turn into an actual truck. He has to take that same robot mode design basically, but turn it into a truck that could take more parts, and he also has the accessories of a shotgun and a cape like hood thing. Maybe
Well,
maybe
can
they
just do
could
what
do
they
that.
did with Dark of the Moon, the Voyager, and just have the cape be, for both the truck and the.
Well, no, I'm
robot.
saying that it's another piece though. Like, so I'm saying that could make it. Megatron already from Revenge of the Fallen is a big Voyager in Studio Series, whereas the
Yeah.
leaders we have gotten a small leader in Blackout where he's about the same scale as Megatron. So what I'm saying, but he has more parts. What I'm saying is they could possibly do a Dark of the Moon Megatron that's about the same size, but he has more accessories and could use more parts to get to his truck mode, since that's a little harder to get Megatron to a truck than it is to get Megatron to his Cybertronian tank that's basically just his body sprawled out.
Yes. Speaking of Megatron, Dark of the Moon, I'd like to get a Sentinel.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten that listed yet, in
Mhm.
all honesty. I think Sentinel will be coming in Studio
Or,
Series.
did we get a Soundwave yet?
No, I'm
You
100%.
need one. What are
I
they
was going
doing?
to say, we're going to get a deluxe Soundwave and Sideswipe at a certain point. Those are two that before this line ends, we're getting Soundwave and Sideswipe for sure. So, but yeah,
There is a listing on this page with a Soundwave.
I think that's
That
almost
$15
yeah,
one, but
I want to say that one's heavily rumored to be the Cyberverse. Especially, yeah, if it's $15, it can't be Studio Series
Yeah.
because that's 20.
oh
But-
yeah.
But yeah, because it's listed with Hot Rod and then also Stingray and Infantry, which I don't know what those are. Those are code names, but I'm kind of curious what those will be in Cyberverse.
Well, wait, Stingray is probably Sideswipe.
Well, no, these aren't for Studio Series. They're for
Oh.
Cyberverse, which I don't think Sideswipe's in. But
I was gonna say if it's wait, Stingray is probably Trax then.
he's also not in the show. I would guess it would be Stingray. Could be. I don't know, but I know what you're saying because they're
'Cause,
both
like,
because they're
it's
Corvette
Trax.
Stingrays. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
My guess is that it's not related. I don't know, but the code name. If I had to guess, those could be Seekers, whether that be Slipstream and like Thundercracker. My guess is Infantry is like Thundercracker or Acid Storm, and then Stingray is Slipstream, but who knows? In all honesty, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, basically, this is leaking a lot of information to us. This isn't as bad as last year's leaks, where those were one. I just want to point this out for everyone like going crazy about leaks. This was probably not intentional because these are Amazon listings. I hope they get these under control because this is still annoying to hear about. I honestly don't like talking about leaks. We have to because it's news, but I don't like knowing the toy line before it gets revealed. We don't know everything, so there still will be some surprise visually and stuff, but I know last year they literally leaked the entire toy line. That was on purpose. That was someone who did that on purpose, which, you know, you're a terrible person, whoever you are. Just putting that out there. And that had pictures, which was the worst because that left almost nothing to the imagination. Whereas this, we have several things that we're just unsure of, but still, it's more than I want to know. But hey, San Diego Comic-Con is where we're going to get probably a decent amount of this, a big chunk of this revealed. Now, I'm sure that we will still be getting some of these toys revealed by the time of New York Toy Fair next year. I bet that's when we'll be done with everything on this list.
Yeah.
But that's still a while away. But speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, where a lot of these things probably will be revealed, we will be doing something. We might try to do something after it happens, like a recap. Or that might just be the next episode. I don't know. I won't be on the episode next week because I will be gone. So there will be an episode next week. But I also did promise we're going to have the TFCon episode during this week. So at the very least, you're going to get a bonus episode this week of TFCon recap. It's very possible there will be an SDCC recap before the next normally scheduled episode. I don't know. It depends on our scheduling. But at the very least, I will be on Radio Free Cybertron's live stream for San Diego Comic-Con, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. West Coast Time. That's when the Transformers panel will start. That's when the Unicron panel will actually be ending, which I kind of want to avoid because I don't want to know how the Unicron story ends, which I feel like they're going to talk about it. And then, because they have a thing for spoiling comics. And then,
Eric, is this during the week?
I already know how the Unicron story is
this
going to
is-
end. Unicron is going to snap his fingers and then...
no. But
Eric, is
I
this
like
during the
Thanos.
week?
Is that something different?
Yeah, Chris, this is Thursday.
Crap. Okay. I was
Um,
gonna say I kind of want to be on too, but I'll
Well,
be at work.
it's not our live stream. I'm on Radio Free Cybertron's live stream.
I know. I
But,
just want to see.
anyways,
But
so there's that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, basically, you can tune into that. That'll be right as the Unicron ends. We'll be talking about the new stuff. I'll be in Indiana because that is what I'm doing that day. Is driving all the way to Indiana. So I'm leaving fairly early in the morning so I can get there in time to do the live stream for San Diego Comic-Con. So definitely tune in. Make it worth me getting up super early in the morning and driving 7 hours, just so I can do it on time, please. I would appreciate it.
I'll try tuning in, Eric, if I can while I'm at work.
It should be fun. It'll be like me, Jason, Chris, so it should be entertaining. And I think
If you-
Headmaster
if you
Don.
guys-
So
If you guys can get it live on YouTube, I'll make sure to listen.
oh, it's Radio Free Cybertron always goes live on YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. So
Oh,
just
we
check
should
out any of those
subscribe
places.
to them.
Radio Free Cybertron. But anyways, pretty pre-order. This is really a news item. It's just not a big deal. But it went up for pre-orders. That's why I put it under pretty pre-orders. Jared, what is our pretty pre-order of the week?
It is a upgrade kit for Titan class Predaking. It is a upgrade kit by Danny Design, and pretty much let's see. So yeah, pretty much it adds new hands, wings, and a sword.
And
mine
a
was-
back filler, like a spine.
Oh yeah, a spine.
Also, not pictured in the link I have, but I did see it somewhere, is that a pre-order bonus for this set is 2 additional guns that can be stored, that they basically are fillers for the skinny mid section. Like, there's a filler for the back in the regular kit that I said, that's the spine, that fixes the hollow spot in the back. These are fillers to fix the skinny mid section, which I actually don't have a problem with. When I saw this kit, I was just like, yes, they did everything I wanted. The wings, the hands, and the sword. The sword splits apart into weapons for the other Predacons, But my favorite part is that the hands, it gives you two options for how you use them. The fingers are super articulated and they have claws, but there's spiky knuckles, which I'm very happy. That's what I really hope they would do because who started that? Did MMCs have that? The spiked
know.
knuckles. I want to say that MMC's Feral Rex had that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they did that, and I've just loved that aesthetic for Predaking. So I was really hoping, like, whenever they do an upgrade kit, that it has that. It's actually optional. Like the other, not the palm, the front of it. I guess is that the front of his hand. No, the back of his hand. I just said the front of his hand. The back of his hand opens up, and you can put those spiked knuckles inside, so he just has normal knuckles and like just the fingers, or you can put him out so he has those spiked knuckles to punch the crap out of you. But the bigger wings look nice. I think the spine is a little weird, but cool. Is anyone other than me getting this upgrade kit?
I am.
You are? I'm just curious, Miguel, did you order a Predaking yet? Like, have you been able to, or?
I not off of Amazon. I just had the list. I just had a pre-order in at BBTS.
Gotcha. Okay, I wasn't curious. I was just curious in terms of where you were gonna try to order it from.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm really excited about the upgrade set, especially because like I really wanted like for someone to make one for the sword, and then it's a shame that in a line where most of the combiners have spiked knuckles, the combiner that is supposed to have spiked knuckles didn't have them.
Yeah. Did Predaking have spiked knuckles like in actual G1?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he did.
Yeah, he's always had like the original toy, in the cartoon. He's always had spiked knuckles. It's just then this toy doesn't.
Which is odd.
But yeah, I like what the set offers, and then at TFCon, Repro Labels showed off, and I think even was selling their Predaking set, and apparently all of the details on Predaking that kind of like rivets, it's raised ink, so it actually has a texture on the stickers.
Ooh, that is neat.
I'll probably be picking up the Repros and the DNA kit, and then I'll have a perfect Predaking.
So I'm curious what Perfect Effects kit's gonna look like. I think this is the one I'm going with, only because the fingers especially are articulated. They're super articulated, and that's the way I love them. Is like they can even move. I'm trying to describe the movement. Like they can move instead of moving your finger up and down, you can move it left and right, which a lot of hand upgrades don't do. It looks like these can. Like he can actually spread his fingers. So I'm very.
So he can flip people off.
No. I don't even mean individual finger articulation. I mean that he can literally, instead of having like his fingers all flat against each other, they could spread out. Do you know what I'm saying?
So he can. Yeah, I'm just clarifying. He can flip people off.
Well,
that's what I care about when I get hand stuff.
Yes.
But he can also do jazz hands. That's basically
I was gonna say that's what I'm talking
awesome.
about. Is that's something that almost no hands can do.
That sold me. Jazz hands.
You can also do it, John Cena.
Oh, that's true. Now I'm imagining that. But definitely, if you're interested in this set, I don't know why, but it's cheaper at TF Source by $10. It's $49.99 here. That's why I put the link in the show notes. Big Bad Toy Store has it up for $59.99, which I don't know why theirs is more expensive. But if you're gonna get it, I'd say get it at TF Source. It's not supposed to be in stock till October though. But either way, I'm excited because I finally ordered a Predaking off Amazon. It was such a struggle all day. I didn't mention in things I got because I didn't get it yet, but I'm not going to be able to say it for 2 weeks because I won't be on the show next week, but I'll have a Predaking. I'm going to have so many things. I would have them for next show. Who is that? Anyways, I'm going to have so many things in time for the next show, but I won't be on the next show, so by the time I get back, there's going to be so many things for me to talk about in terms of stuff I got. So, and the great thing is that'll be after San Diego Comic-Con when there's no news, so we can drag out what we got plenty. So that works out. So yeah, we're gonna skip question of the week because we have so much. I did put out a new pool on Twitter and stuff. I'll retweet it a bit more, but we have already gotten questions submitted. I'm gonna put it in all the Facebook groups too. Tanner, do you have a quote of the week.
Yeah, I can bring something about. Okay, so predicing is a big topic right now. Unfortunately, there really aren't like any predicing G1 quotes anyway, so I will go to the next best predicing, which of course is Prime.
I love Prime Predaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Prime predicing is great.
I know a lot of people hate him just because he's such a different take on the character, but like I love Prime Predaking. Anyways, sorry,
Mhm.
continue.
I took a quote from Predaking Prime, and it is right when he first transforms. Spoiler alert: he transforms.
Shocking.
If you have watched the first half of Beast Hunters and not the second half. So basically, Starscream was ordered to basically control Predaking, which he sucked at because he couldn't do it even with the Apex armor. And then they go to Shockwave's offsite laboratory, and then Predaking follows them, and basically Starscream smacks him with a pole, and then Predaking surprises everyone by transforming into his robot mode, which they didn't know he had.
And says,
And he says, "Strike me again, and I will bury that rod in your spark." And he had an accent for some reason. I'm not sure what that was about, but it was cool.
Yeah.
who voiced him?
I forget,
They had a good voice.
but it was
Yeah.
cool. And then even Megatron was like, "Shockwave, what the hell? When could they do this?"
Peter
When did this become-
Mensa. Yeah, Peter Mensa. I don't know who that is, but that is who voiced him, and he is quite awesome. Because I
And then it
love
turns
that.
out that actually Megatron does not approve of his robot mode because he was all like, "You should have faced me as a beast." And then
Should have aimed
Airlock.
for the head.
Well, that's later, but.
And that was
Uh,
after Screamer.
and then
Cheater.
Knockout comes in. Here's that Doomsday weapon you wanted.
Anyways, this week's mascot is Australian Amazon leek bisque. Because basically
not?
everything got listed, everything got leaked on Amazon Australia. So, Miguel, are you ready for your one job?
I don't have to go into work until 9 a.m.
Miguel, are you ready for your other one job?
You don't pay me.
Are you ready for your weekly task?
Are you yes. There you
I mean,
go.
sure. Also on Nerdy Geek Talk this week, NGT reviews Episode 1, Studio Series Wave 1 Deluxes. This week, we start our new review podcast series with Studio Series Wave 1 Deluxes. Soundjack, Chris, Jared, and Eric are here to break them down and give you our recommendations.
Yeah, so that's a new series we started. It's kind of funny that Soundjack and I both actually were thinking we'd just name it that, keep it simple, not actually name it anything, like, with a clever name. And we didn't even actually we didn't even say that to each other until we were doing the episode and realized that we were actually thinking the exact same thing. So that was neat. That was kind of funny. I just thought, because I was like wondering if anyone was going to come up with a title, and I was like, I don't think we need one. And maybe it just happened to work out that way. But anyways, we're going to try to do that every 2 weeks. So next up, I'm assuming, will be the Studio Series Voyagers. Don't hold me to that, but there should be something next week. And if I had to take a guess, that's when it's going to be Studio Series Wave 1 Voyagers. We did take input. We take input from everyone for that show. So like Miguel and Zeus, you guys had your votes for the deluxes. That was counted in for... We give a recommendation from our entire network and stuff in terms of people who know the toys. So there's that. As mentioned, there's the SDCC live stream for San Diego. That is what SDCC is. I'm tired. For Radio Free Cybertron this Thursday. So definitely, if you're listening to this before Thursday or on Thursday, check out that live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. That is Pacific, right? Is that what that time zone's called? I just say West Coast. I don't even think. Is it called Pacific's time zone? Is that what it is?
Pacific Rim?
No. Anyways, it's the Western Coast. You know what I mean. But also, yesterday I recorded, but it doesn't go up until Wednesday and Friday, I believe, are the days that the 2 transmission shows go up. So if you if you haven't listened to Transmission, I definitely recommend giving them at least a listen. The Transmissions podcast, they're a cool set of dudes. They had some people out because of TFCon, just like Zeus was out. So I helped fill in along with Jason Kirk. That was a fun time. So definitely go check that out. And if you're over here listening to this because you listen to that, because I know every time I'm on Transmissions, it certainly helps out over here. And same thing with Radio Free Cybertron. So if you're listening because of that, hey, you're cool. Thanks for checking us out.
Yes.
Other than that, so where can you find this podcast? Basically, anywhere you listen to podcasts or YouTube. So YouTube, I'm so fried. Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Podbean. You just search Nerdy Geek Talk. You'll find our network, which includes this, obviously, Steel City Bots. Other shows that will come back in a few weeks when I'm finally on a schedule again, but also the NGT reviews should be up next week as well. And as mentioned, we will have at least one bonus episode for TFCon. I'm hoping to get another one for SDCC, but in all honesty, I have a major time crunch before I'm without technology for the next week. Oh, which also, I'll plug this. This is the only time I'm going to plug this. Next week is my birthday, so if you feel generous, only if you do, I did tweet out a Amazon wish list. So if you want to go check it out, there's plenty of cheap toys. There's some not so cheap toys. It's up to you. Anything that your heart desires. Well, I guess that to give. But yeah, if you want to check that out, definitely do. If you don't worry, because it's not that big of a deal. I almost didn't create it anyways. So definitely I appreciate that if anyone checks that out, because I'm turning 19. And also, since I did mention my birthday's next week, it's actually a week from today recording. I'm not going to have any technology. So if you wish me a birthday, I'm not a happy birthday. If you wish me a birthday, that's just weird. If you wish me a happy birthday,
have a birthday, Eric.
have a
On
birthday.
Me. On me.
Thanks for letting me live. But if you wish me happy birthday and I
You're
don't
welcome.
answer, it's not because I'm ignoring you. I'll get back to you in a week, I promise. So, yeah, that's about it. You can check me out in that Amazon wish list I mentioned at Eric Crowbar on Twitter. I'm also at Aramis Prime on Instagram, and then you can find me in most Transformers Facebook groups. Also, check out our Twitter. I did tweet out the tweet for our contest we're doing. It is not a Prime Master Metal Hawk like I guessed it was going to be. It is the Prime Master Submarauder with... Who is it that comes with Submarauder? What's the Prime? I'm totally blanking now. The Prime...
Was that Wave 1 or Wave 2?
Wave 2.
I want to say that's Alchemist Prime.
That sounds right. Let's say
Yeah, it
let's
is.
say it's Alchemist. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's Alchemist Prime.
It
So
is.
that is our just a little thing. If
Yeah.
you go there, find the
Yeah,
tweet,
yeah.
retweet it, and follow us, you'll get that. There is going to be an Instagram one going up as well for probably a Titan Master by Five Below. Sold out of them. So I'm gonna go check another Five Below because they had tons before and I got a couple, but I already have the Prime Masters. Definitely go retweet that. That'll be at least going on until I get back. So you got a couple weeks, but go do that now. So you're entered to win, and which is at Steel City Bots, by the way. I forgot to say that, and also at Nerdy Geek Talk. You can follow that to get updates on all of the podcasts we have going on. Also, at Steel City Bots on Instagram. We haven't had any posts there in a little while. I'm going to try to add some. I'll also ask Soundjack if he could start adding some again, because it's been a little while. I just realized that. So definitely go check out those. Let's see. Tanner, where can we find you on the interwebs?
Okay, well, you can find me on Twitter at Optimus Prime. You can actually find us also on MySpace and Ask.com and Yahoo Answers.
He's lying.
I don't like you. Anyways, although I will admit I was proud of
Really check out our MySpace account.
I was proud of
we
Tanner.
should
Okay,
make
so
one.
fun fact, if you're going to mention things that sound like they don't exist, you should do the one that does exist and say check out our Steel City Bots LinkedIn because that actually exists. Someone who's listening, go on LinkedIn, find Steel City Bots, screenshot it or something and tweet it at us because I'm serious, it exists. I promise you, I'm not messing with you.
Made it.
I made it for a specific reason, I wanted to do something else, and just making a MySpace, not a MySpace, making a LinkedIn was just an easy way to do it, and so I made a LinkedIn for Steel City Bots.
Okay, well in that case, check out our LinkedIn account at what is it? At Steel City
I
Bots.
think it's just Steel City Bots. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can find it easily.
Check out our LinkedIn account at Steel City Bots.
Tanner. Oh my God. I was gonna
Want me
say
to go again? Okay,
no.
you can find me
I
on
was gonna
Twitter
say
at Optimus Prime.
I was gonna say Jared, but then I realized I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say I'm very proud of Tanner today. He drove me and Jared around for the first time. Normally it's me driving us around during our
Yeah.
hangouts, but for the first time, Tanner drove us around in his car.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Which I gotta say was really awesome of him,
Mm-hmm.
especially considering how new of a driver he was.
Is he a good driver?
He's a very new driver. I'm kidding.
Okay.
He did a really good job for his first time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well done.
that was
Well done,
that
Tanner.
was really fun. Thank you, Tanner, for a fun little outing today. That was definitely awesome.
You know it's always fun when you see the blue.
Mitsubishi.
Well, basically, I'm trying to make a Doctor Who reference to any who watched that.
He made me promise not to tell this, but I'm going to tell this to kind of embarrass him. I had to help him park today. He couldn't park, but that was the only time he really struggled, so it's okay.
And that was the last word you'll be hearing of Eric ever.
Goodbye.
To all of our fans,
Sayonara,
he
Eric.
may
We'll miss
not
you.
be here for any future episodes.
All right,
So I'm the host now. I'm the new hostess. Awesome.
Jared. No, we all know if I'm gone, Soundjack is definitely the second in
Yeah.
command.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
All right, let's go. Soundjack, yo.
Soundjack, you're needed.
Technically, is Soundjack, so
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they're the same person. Which, by the way, you can follow Soundjack at Soundjack. It's 426 because I know April 26th is Soundjack Day, isn't it? On Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube for all of his neat stuff. I think he's gonna try to do a Power of the Primes, the cartoon, a podcast about that this week. Or maybe it's going up next week. I think he wants to try to record it this week, so I don't know how soon he plans on getting it up. But either way, that should be up there sometime soon. He did a review of Power of the Prime's Nemesis Prime, which I'm very mad because we ordered that at the same time, and his came early, and mine still hasn't showed up. So there's that. I'm supposed to get it in just a couple days, but just saying, a little annoyed. But yeah, definitely go check out his review of that if you want. Jared, where can peeps find you on the interwebs?
you can find me at Twitter at Jared Proco. That's where I am at basically every day. And if you're a bit of a night person, you can check me out on Instagram because I post nightly pictures of my figures as a bit of a play off of the desk bot, and that would be Nightbot. And you can find me there at procjar00. And yeah, check it out. And I also this is rare, but sometimes I'll post another type of picture of something else that happened in my life.
Yeah. Let's see. Miguel, where can everyone find you on the interwebs?
People can find me on Twitter at LogosMiner. People also, from what I can see, can't find Steel City Bots on LinkedIn because I can't find it.
Okay, I'm going to prove to you that it exists because I still get emails for it. I'll tweet it out later, I promise. But I promise that the Steel City Bots LinkedIn exists.
This is the second time I've looked for it, and I haven't found it.
All right, anyways, I was going to say, I promise I'll screenshot it and put it up later. I at least get emails for it still, and I know I created the account, put the profile picture in. So I don't know. I get random invites from bots, which I never accept. But yeah, what did you have on your Twitter recently? Was it your journey of trying? Was it who are you trying to make? I'm blanking out of the getaway. Was it Minerva?
Minerva.
Minerva, yeah, that's right.
No, the most recent stuff was the one tweet where I put my wild guess for what we now know to be WFC Voyager Prime, which was the alt mode from the Marvel comic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I put out was just how the sides of his vehicle mode kind of look like Cybertron Prime's cannons, which for whatever reason,
crazy conspiracy theory.
Which for whatever reason got a lot of likes and retweets from people in Japan.
It's okay. I ended up on Japan. A picture from my Twitter ended up on Japan news sites when I was at HasCon. I tweeted a picture of the side of Power of the Prime's Starscream's box, the combined mode, and that went like crazy. With like, I mean, there was a lot of people over here that liked it too, but like Japan just went freaking nuts with that picture. So yeah, ended up on a lot of Japanese news sites. Chris, I believe you're the only one left. Where can people find you?
Last. You can find me on my secondary Twitter at Soza Productions. I'm not on there too often, but if you tweet something at me, you'll get a response. Feel free to ask me about the model kits I got. I'll be more than happy to talk about them and my frustrations with those tiny freaking stickers, which I was working on at the beginning of the episode. I want to hurt.
But yeah, that's about it for.
I also have
your
my,
YouTube. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I have a YouTube account, Sonozawa Productions. I posted a couple videos on there a couple days ago, which you should all check out. I got another amazing Skyrim glitch. I know, a glitch in Skyrim. Shocking, right? This was really good. You should definitely check it out. It's very short.
But that actually is about it. I didn't forget you this week. Was it last week? Was it you that I forgot last week? I outright forgot you last week. I felt kind of bad for that. But
yeah, you should. You should send me that Overlord for free because of that.
No, not even close. But yeah, that's about it for this week. So yeah, check out all those things as mentioned. And definitely thank you for listening. I think that's about it. There's just so many things. I didn't think it'd be this hard to podcast tonight, but God, this has been an eventful one for us. Hopefully it doesn't seem as eventful as it was in the final recording when everything's edited together. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you later this week with another episode. So see you guys.
Bye, Anara.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Anara.